Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Quick Crafts with the AG Sisters. Today we're going to be making all of the essentials for your doll's own little taco party. First up, we're going to be making a platter of tacos for your doll. So for this craft, you will need brown paint, white paint, and yellow paint. This is to like decorate your taco and make cheese and sour cream. Get creative. If you don't have paint, use nail polish or whatever you have. School glue, tissues, tissue paper. This is to make lettuce. If you don't have tissue paper, you can easily use construction paper or whatever you have. Again, use the resources that you have in your own house. A pair of scissors, either brown paper to make the taco shell, or you can even reuse a old shopping bag. Different colors of construction paper to add fun toppings to your taco. A paintbrush, a cup and a little spoon or whatever you have to mix to make the meat mixture for your tacos. And then to make the platter for your tacos, either a plate, a small plate, or we're just using the lid of a yogurt container or the lid to a jar, like a mustard jar or something. And yeah, that's all the materials that you need. So first up, to make the taco shell, what you're gonna do is, if you're using just a standard piece of cardstock, take something circular like the bottom of a glue stick or the bottom of a paint jar and outline it to make a circle. This is going to be the shell for your taco. Now if you're using just a leftover shopping bag, I would just cut out a square like so, and again just trace it with the bottom of your paint. And then you're just going to cut it out like so, and then you're going to fold it in half so it looks like a taco shell. And just repeat until you have as many tacos Alright, so once you have all of your taco shells made, we're going to work on making the meat mixture. So, in your paper bowl, I suggest using some you can throw away just so you don't ruin anything. You're going to add a generous amount of school glue, about that much. Then you're going to add brown paint. Not much, just like one dot. Give it a quick mix. So once your mixture is all mixed up, you're then going to take a tissue and rip off little pieces and add it to the mixture. This is what's going to act as like your ground meat for your tacos. Alright, once you've ripped up your pieces, stir it together. Depending on how much glue and paint you put in, you might need to add more tissue. Alright, so once your mixture is fully combined, it should kind of look like that. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take your taco shells and fill them with a little bit of the mixture. You don't want to stuff them too much, that way you can still fit all your other toppings and your tacos will kind of close. You're just going to spoon it right into your shell and just kind of push it together so it holds its shape and looks like a taco. Alright, now once all of your tacos are filled, they're going to need to dry for at least 3 hours. You want to make sure the mixture is dry before you add on the following toppings. If your taco shells do not stay pressed together, I suggest adding a little bit of school glue to the inside shell and just kind of squish them together just to help the taco shell and the meat mixture stay intact. Now for the sake of this video, I made a few tacos earlier so I can show you how to top them. So once your taco shells and your meat are all dry, they'll look very cute and they'll hold the shape of a taco. So now to dress them up, there are several options. You can make sour cream. In doing so, just add a little bit of white paint. If you don't have typical white paint, you can use white nail polish, you could use liquid whiteout. Get creative. You could even probably use a little bit of like white model magic. If you wanted to make like a cheesy sauce, you could use some yellow paint. To make lettuce, I just have green tissue paper. But if you don't have green tissue paper, you can also just use regular green cardstock. We've got yellow cardstock to make cheese, and we have red cardstock to make salsa. Now, if you don't have any colored construction paper or cardstock, you can honestly just take a white piece of paper. And let's say you wanted to make cheese, color it with a yellow pen on both sides, like so, and then you can just kind of cut out your slices of cheese. Super easy, DIY construction paper. Okay, so let's say we wanted to top this with, do a little bit of sour cream. Using your paintbrush, paint a little sour cream. You could even use green paint, it could be like guacamole. And then, if you want to add a little bit of cheese, just cut a super thin strip. And if you don't have construction paper, another great option would be craft foam. And just take your little cheese and sprinkle it on top. If you aren't using sour cream as a base, just make sure to add a little bit of school glue so it'll hold down your cheese. And there you go, a little taco. But like we said, totally get creative. You can use tissue paper and make a taco filled with lettuce. Just crumple it up into like little balls. Take your school glue or paint, whatever you're using beneath it. And there you have it, all your tacos. Now once they're fully dry, using your yogurt lid or whatever lids you have around the house, you can add your tacos to the platter to make a nice little platter of tacos. And there you have it, a nice little platter of tacos for your doll's taco party. Alright, for our next craft, we are going to be making a pinata for your doll. So, for this craft, you will need school glue, a toilet paper roll, tape, 2 cupcake liners, tissue paper. You can use different colors, pattern tissue paper, whatever you have, a glue stick, a pair of scissors, and a pen. So first, what you're going to do to make the actual shape for your pinata, you are going to take your toilet paper roll and just cut it in half. Like so. Kind of fold it out to make sure it holds its shape. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take your cupcake liners. These are what are going to act as the bottoms for your pinata. And you're going to fold your cupcake liner in half, just like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and cut a little bit of the rim of the cupcake liner off. I'll show you. You want to make sure that there's like a little lip of the folded down texture. So you want to cut off a little bit of the rim of your cupcake liner. That way you just don't have too much paper on your toilet paper roll. So just like so. You should still have a little bit of the crinkled edges on your cupcake liner. So now you've got two. You get your ends for both. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of your cupcake liners and press it over toilet paper roll. Then using tape, you're going to tape down all of these edges. And then you're going to repeat on the other side. A key thing here is you don't want to cover all of the paper surface in tape, because otherwise you'll have a hard time having glue adhere to it for the next step. So make sure that there is still a little bit of the paper texture exposed. That way the glue will be able to hook on. Once you've got both sides completed, we're going to add the little strap for a pinata. So just cut a piece of string, yarn, ribbon, whatever you have. I would say make it about 3 to 4 inches. And you're just going to tape it to both sides. This is what the pinata is going to hang from when we're done. Like so. Okay, now for the next step. We are first going to cover our pinata in one layer of tissue paper before we add the fun textured ruffles. So, take your paper, and then using a pencil or pen, you're going to take your toilet paper roll and measure the width of it onto your paper, and then just cut one long strip. Like so. You're then going to take your tissue paper and wrap it around the toilet paper roll until it's fully wrapped, and then just cut off the excess. Now, to get your toilet paper roll and your tissue paper to stick together, I'm using school glue, but if you're having a hard time having the school glue stick, I suggest using either double-sided tape or just taking a piece of tape and folding it like so, and just putting a few little folded pieces of tape all over your toilet paper roll just to help it stick. And you don't really need to worry about it being smooth or not, because we're going to be adding the ruffles, so the textures underneath it will be covered up. You got it. Alright, now the next step, adding the ruffles to your pinata. Again, you can use just one color tissue paper if you want. You can mix it up, make a pattern, do a rainbow print, whatever you'd like. I'm going to switch off between using pink and turquoise. This step is the most time consuming, so it might take a little bit of time, but it's totally worth it because it turns out so cute in the end. So first you're going to take your roll, and again, just measure out the width onto your tissue paper and just cut a long strip. Next, take your scissors, and I'm cutting about 2-inch little chunks like so. Once you have all of your little slices of paper cut, the next step, you're going to take your paper and fold it in half like so. And I suggest doing this whole step all at once before we move on to the next step. Alright, so once you've folded all your paper, we're now going to move on to attaching it. So, using your school glue, just make a super thin line. You don't want to use too much because the tissue paper is super fragile, so if you use too much, it's just going to rip really easily. And you're going to take one edge of your tissue paper and place it right on, just like so. Now if you're doing the stripes, I like to do 2 sheets of each color, like and alternate, and just repeat until you have your whole pinata covered. Okay, so once your pinata is fully covered, it should look like this. I would let it dry for at least an hour, and then I would go back in and see if there's any places that kind of have holes in them, and fill them in with a little bit more tissue paper before the next step. So just let it sit here and dry. Okay, so once you've let your pinata dry for at least an hour, you're then going to take your scissors and cut any of the excess off. It's kind of going over the edge. And then just make sure all of your tissue paper is nice and fluffed. Next, what you're going to do is using your scissors and taking a piece of the tissue paper, you're going to cut thin little slits on each piece of tissue paper, and this is going to make like the fun fluffy part of your pinata and make your pinata look extra full, which is fun. Okay, so once you've cut slits in all of your tissue paper, just go back around the edges and see if there's any excess hanging off that you want to trim. And then you can, if you feel like the little pieces hanging off are too long, or some of them are a lot longer than others, you can definitely trim them. But keep in mind, you're going to kind of crinkle the paper together so you won't really see it. If your roll is still slightly wet, wait until it's completely dry. But once you've cut your slits, you can just kind of crinkle down the pieces and fluff them. And there you have it, a little pinata. All you gotta do next is take another piece of string, tie it to the bottom, and you have a little pinata for your doll. Alright, and there you have it, all the essentials to make your own little taco party for your doll. Thanks again for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next quick craft with the AG sisters next Friday. And if you haven't yet, please check out our other videos on our channel. We'll see you next time.